What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the Fragrance Fraternity. Thanks for being here on another Wednesday edition of the Fragrance Live Chat. Hopefully, we can have some fun today. Talk about some oud scents and just have a good time and kind of vibe out here on a Wednesday as we like to do. Thankful that I get to be here on another Wednesday with you guys. It's always a highlight of my week getting to chat with you guys and hear a little bit about what's going on in your kind of journey of fragrance and give you some updates on mine as well. So I know we talked last time. I was looking into, getting into the oud game a little bit, kind of expanding the palette, trying out some different notes. And this week we're going to be focused on oud. I'm sure we're going to be talking about other stuff, as is typically what happens here. Kind of, see where the conversation takes us and go from there. Scent of the day. Let's get that out of the way today. I went with Invictus Aqua 2024. Just a really easy kind of dumb reach fragrance, bubblegum, kind of sweet aquatic. A lot of citrus here, good amount of sweetness, very fresh, good performance. It was maybe a little bit cloying for the gym, but if you dial down the sprays, it's okay. Good performance here, great projection. A little bit more on the youthful side, but you guys are probably familiar with the scent profile. If you're not, kind of similar to Mont Blanc Legend Spirit or Hollister Wave 2, if you've tried either one of those. They kind of are modeled after this. I'm glad they brought this back. I'd like to see more brands kind of bring back some discontinued fragrances that were kind of a love from before that went away. So it was nice to wear that one this morning. Let me get caught up in the chat with you guys, and then we're going to start getting through some of these oud fragrances. And yeah, just want to say thank God for another day to smell good. I'm feeling good today, and hopefully you are too. Really blessed to just be here talking fragrance, with a nice computer, a nice mic, in good health. So a lot of things to be grateful for today. So thank God for all the good blessings in life. So just wanted to get that out of the way. All right, let's go through the chat here. Mr. Gian is in the building. Thanks for being here. Wearing Lamal Elixir. Okay, very honeyed sweet today. Really capitalizing on that winter fragrance game. So thanks for being here. You're smelling good. Mr. Joel is here. What's going on? Thanks for being here, Joel. Back to Bois 1920, Darrow Cafe. All right. Still haven't dabbled into that brand, but I feel like in good time I'm going to have to because I've been seeing you wearing them a lot, and I know you have great taste, really. What's up, Jerry? Thanks for coming in for the stream. Appreciate you being here. So you're going to catch the replay? Okay, yeah, no worries. Scent of the day is Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme. Classic. Have a good day. Yeah, that is a classic. Pretty gentlemanly, a little bit powdery. I really enjoy that one. That one's kind of one that kind of grew on me over time. I wasn't really sure at first, but I actually went back to it maybe a week or two ago, and I really enjoyed it. So good choice. It's kind of an all-time classic at this point. I would consider it. All Genre Bobs is in the building. Saying what up to everyone. Wearing Rojas L'Homme, a very nice blue fragrance that's on the more affordable side, but doesn't smell cheap at all. It's pretty solid. Wasn't my personal favorite thing, but I know it gets a lot of love, and I think it's a pretty good fragrance overall. So you're smelling good. Thanks for being here. Mr. Jason is in the building. Let's see what he's wearing. Halfetti Black Rose, Jason Sherrill, the boss, as I like to call him, wearing a very boss-like rose fragrance. You're smelling really good. Good choice, Jason. Thanks for being here. Nice to see you. Hopefully the car is running well in the cold. Hopefully it's not screwing with it too bad. What's going on, Patrick? You made it after work. Always love seeing you here, my guy. Wearing 1 Million Royal, a really nice one. Got to try that one maybe a month or two ago, and I really enjoyed it. Not sure if I'm going to pick up a full bottle, but I thought it was really good. So you're smelling good today, and really good work fragrance, which I know is probably where you ended up wearing it anyway. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Mr. Greg is here. Oh, you're not late. We're just getting started. We just started a couple minutes ago, so you are right on time, sir. Thanks for being here. Let us know if you're wearing anything. Scent of the day, Paris Corner Vibrant Vetiver Delight. Yes, Bal de Freak clone. I've never smelled Vibrant Vetiver Delight, but I have smelled the original Bal de Freak, and I do like that scent profile. I prefer Mojave Ghost a little bit for me, but I definitely understand the love for Bal de Freak. My mom wears that fragrance, so maybe it kind of affects my, I guess, opinion on if I want to wear it or not. So, but it smells great when she wears it, and I know a lot of guys also really enjoy that one. I believe Omos, the Nigerian giant, I think that's like one of his go-tos. Or I know he was wearing it a lot when he was hanging out with Ross, and he was wearing that. So that's a great choice. You're smelling good today. Thanks for being here, Greg. Mr. Esteban is here. You guys definitely want to check out his kind of music mix show he does. It's called Ebb and Flow. A real good time, good vibes with good people and good music. And he's really solid DJ, great transitions, great song selection. So it's a good time. So definitely check out Esteban on his Ebb and Flow mix show. Wearing Arcanum by Navitus. Okay, I haven't tried anything from Navitus. Heard good conversation about that brand, especially I believe from Bowtie mainly. Definitely a brand that I may want to look into in the future, but I know you have good taste, so I'm sure you're smelling great today. Thanks for being here. Another blessed day. It sure is, man. You can't take these days that you feel good for granted. You know, you got to acknowledge and really, you can't be grateful and angry at the same time. Your brain can only be one or the other. So let's try to be grateful. I think that's a better mindset to have. Vince Sense, what's up, man? Thanks for being here. I'm glad you can make it. You got a couple days until you're heading out on vacation. So thanks for sticking with us here. And I hope you're not too freezing out there in Ohio. How did you become a DJ? It's kind of a longer story, but I'll give you the quick rundown. I played guitar as a kid, so I was always kind of into music, and then kind of got bored of guitar and saw a video of Tiesto when I was probably 13 years old, and he was playing a concert where he had a live electronic violinist. And I was like, forget guitar, man. DJing is like the coolest thing ever. Look at this guy. He's like the coolest guy in the world. I want to do that instead of playing guitar. Because I had already played guitar for like several years at that point. Classical and then electric, acoustic. So I was like maxed out on guitar at that point. I was ready to move on. I played a little bit of saxophone in band. You know, you all got to pick a instrument to play for a year in middle school. At least my school did. So I played a little saxophone, but I really enjoyed DJing because I thought it was just really cool. Because then you get all the instruments. You're not just limited to just your one instrument, and yeah, it was easier on the fingers, I guess, and all. You didn't have to blow into this like stick of wood with the saxophone. So that's the short synopsis. There's more to it, but long story short, that's how it came about. Don't have a vast wealth of oud knowledge. My favorites are Thymine Carved Oud. We're going to talk about that one. PDM Haltane. Okay, it's been too long since I've smelled that one. Day 3 Philosophia. Surprisingly, not one that I liked from them. I like all their fragrances except that one, but I know that one is kind of a fan favorite for a lot of people. Just didn't vibe with that one for some reason, but I know it gets a lot of love. But, you know, to each their own. Definitely going to talk about the Thymine, though. What's up, Sven? Good to see you here. Thanks for stopping in. Unique Luxury Coute. Okay, cool. I think I may have seen that brand name before, but I'm not familiar with that fragrance, but I'm sure you're smelling good. Thanks for being here and hanging out at the fraternity. We love to have you, Sven. We do. And I say we, but I mean me, but I know everybody else feels the same way because Sven, he's a good dude. Dan, the man, is in the building. Ooh, wearing Platinum Egoist, my father's one and only scent. He wears that, and that's it. He's he's very different than me in the fact that he's just got that one fragrance and that's it. But the cool thing is, whenever I smell it, I think of him. It's definitely got the boss CEO type vibes, kind of like a green fougere. Just a really beautiful scent. Really, really nice. You're smelling absolutely amazing today, Dan, and you're smelling like a CEO. Good stuff. Ethan Greenfeld, look at who has joined us today. All right, good to see you in here, Ethan. Great day to be hanging in the Fragrance Frat House, isn't it always? Isn't it always? As long as we're not like choking ourselves out over here because we sprayed too much, but it does happen. But so far, we're just getting started. Thanks for being here, Ethan. Glad to see you hop in on the live stream streets. Mr. Chris is in the building wearing Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Extreme. All right. I'm so far behind on the Guerlain game. I'm slacking, guys. I'm slacking hard on the Guerlain. I need to get on it. I know. And I heard there's a lot of really good ones. And I know this Extreme gets a lot of love too. So I'm going to have to get on this Guerlain game real quick. It's running good. Nice and 65 here today. Okay, cool. Nice. Pretty warm day for you. Hope you're enjoying. All right. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? See what Patrick's saying about 1 million Royal. Clean benzoin cedarwood, bit of tangerine sweetness on the top. Overall, more mature, grown up 1 million. Yeah, I didn't really find it was too close to the original. Kind of more woody and kind of went its own way, but whatever way that was, it was solid. Let's see. There can only be one person. There can only be one person in the chat wearing platinum egoise. Who else was wearing it? Did I see any? Was somebody else wearing it? Oh, Vince was wearing platinum egoise too. Okay, wow, look at that. Well, Vince is feeling like a boss as well, but Vince is always a boss. So whether or not he's wearing platinum Ego East, he's just a boss. He could be wearing freaking Donald Duck eau de toilette, and he'd still be a boss. That's just the Vince energy. What's the deal on that ball 1920? Yeah, let us know. Let us know, Joel. Let's see. Great chocolate coffee fragrance. Love their selection. Not buying too many. Now buying many from the Nayasia brand. Not sure how you say that. Okay, that's the next brand that you're on. Joel is always coming up with the new brands that are the sleepers, but he's putting us on to the good stuff. 47 degrees in New Jersey. Warmed up, might as well be Florida. Hey man, time to bust out the tank top and the shorts, eh? Let's get it going. So how do you recommend someone else try to become a DJ? It's good to hear your story as well. Oh, if you want to get into it, the good thing about it now compared to when I started, there's so many like DJ controllers that you can buy, and you can get a pretty good one for like a couple $100. So I'd just say invest in like a decent one. You can message me on Instagram if you want like specific suggestions, and we can talk more about it. At Fragrance Fraternity, shoot me a message and I can give you some more recommendations. But basically, I just learned off YouTube. Just get a little controller. And it's just like any instrument. Just start practicing. And yeah, it just takes time, man. But if you want, we can talk more about it. Just shoot me a message and I'll give you some good places to start and whatnot. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Kyler's in the building. What's up, Kyler? Thanks for being in here. Appreciate you. Appreciate that, Joel. Let's see. There were, let's see, anybody sent a ATH Maverick. Okay, I haven't tried any ATH. I know he's got some good stuff. Donald Duck has a fragrance. Yeah, there is Donald Duck eau de toilette. And SpongeBob SquarePants is the favorite cartoon scent. So if you want to get real Nickelodeon on him, you can check out one of those. All right, cool. Let's talk some oud fragrances. So there was probably around 10 or 12 samples of different oud fragrances that I tried. What sparked this was actually Vince sent over a decant of Mancera Oud exclusive. And I really enjoyed it, gave it to my brother, and he really enjoyed it. He had like the most visceral reaction I ever saw from a fragrance. He really dug it. And I was shocked because I've shown him a lot of fragrances and I've never seen him react like that. So it kind of got this idea started like, okay, let me get some oud samples in, and I want to find his next, he was looking for his like signature date night, going out, whatever type scent. And he wanted to be oud. So went down this whole journey. And we'll talk about some of the ones. I should have kept all the samples for this live stream before I gave it to him, but I gave him a bunch of his favorite ones. But thankfully, I spent some time with them and I got to know the scent profile. So you'll just have to take my word that I actually did my due diligence. And I'll give you a little bit of what I got from them. And then I'd love to obviously hear if you guys have any experience with these, what you guys think. So the first one that I was going to talk about here is Versace Pour Homme Oud Noir. So this one is probably the most easy to understand, easy to get down with, something that you could wear to the office. And if you're kind of newer to oud, or it's not something that you're really familiar with, this is a great place to start. So what I got from this one was kind of a darkness, but it has the soapiness at the same time. Mainly the soapiness I would attribute to this neroli. Now, neroli can come across like dish soap sometimes, and I don't get that dish soapy nature, but it does kind of just freshen it up a little bit like neroli tends to. You get a lot of this frankincense. I get a lot of this incense type of darkness going on here really nicely. So it had a great combination of kind of soapy cleanliness mixing with dark incense vibes as well. Not as much oud as some of the other fragrances we're going to talk about in there. It's kind of a lower dosage there. but oud is the most expensive note out there. So uh, the price range on this Versace is like in the $55 range. So how much oud can they really use for that price? Really, you got to think about it that way too. But it's in there. Um, but as far as just like a nighttime affordable oud fragrance, this is very solid. And yeah, I definitely could recommend it to somebody who's looking for something a little bit more casual and maybe not as challenging. You guys tried Versace Oud Noir? Let me know what you guys think about it. I heard it's discontinued now, but I think it's pretty still available to find. I think in the international market, it's a little bit more difficult to find. So um, let's see. Oh, my starry-eyed surprise, sundown to sunrise, dance all night, dance all night. Hey, that'd be some good lyrics to a song. I'm using these AI vocals now, but Kyler, if you ever want to jump on a track, if you can sing, we can talk. What is date night? Um, Definitely depends on. It's different for every person. For him, date night is probably just going out to dinner with his wife and kid. Let's see. Never tried Versace Oud Noir. Does it smell like anything else on the market? It smells like other oud fragrances, but um, it's kind of, well, the next one we're going to talk about is oud wood, and it's a little bit more of an incense kind of version of that. But there isn't like another fragrance that specifically comes to mind. I think it does have its own DNA. Just picture like a soapy fragrance with a nice dose of incense. Really, the incense is the star of the show here, without being too dark or gothic or anything like that. It's still a designer fragrance at the end of the day. And it is a pour homme flanker, and the pour homme is a clean, notoriously clean scent. Boss the Scent Absolute. Okay, very nice. I haven't tried that one. I recently tried Boss Bottle Absolute, and I thought that was fantastic. But I've been wearing actually the original The Scent a lot, because I got this deodorant from Ross for like $8 of the original The Scent, and it's fruity, but it's masculine. It's very interesting because a lot of times fruity fragrances can be very feminine leaning. But this is actually a fruity fragrance that's masculine at the same time. So I really enjoy it. It's this Maninka fruit. And I've never eaten a Maninka fruit. I've never even heard of a Maninka fruit until that fragrance came about. And so, but now I'm smelling this Maninka fruit left like constantly because I'm wearing the fragrance from the deodorant. It's got me inspired to wear the fragrance more. Anyway, I appreciate you guys being active in the chat. Makes it more fun. You guys are chiming in. Jason is a fan of Versace Oud Noir. Let's see if anybody else has tried it. Would Oud Noir more like a simplified version of Tom Ford Oud Wood with some smokiness, or does it walk its own path completely? Yeah, there's definitely some similarity. There's some tie-in. I wouldn't say it's completely different. I think the incense nuance of the Oud Noir is something that you don't really get as much with the Oud Wood. But as far as the cleanliness, I find them pretty similar in the cleanliness aspect, the professional kind of office wear capability aspect of both of them. So it's a good segue. Let's talk about oud wood, and then subsequently that means carved oud, because those two kind of get compared side by side a lot. So this is, you guys probably know, this is probably the most popular oud fragrance that's out there. Let's pull it up here. This is oud wood. Maybe the most popular fragrance from Tom Ford. I know that this one is more well known. Woody, spicy, oriental, resinous, smoky. I don't find it as smoky, really. I do have like a clean wood type of feel that I get from this one. You definitely get a little bit of the spiciness though from the cardamom, and this pink pepper is not like a sweet pink pepper. Sometimes pink pepper can make a fragrance very, very sweet. It's more of like a spice that's going on here. The oud is there. It's prominent. The sandalwood is definitely prominent. Really like a woody, clean type of scent overall. The vetiver does not come across too mossy or too earthy. I think it's super appropriate for the office, something very professional. The sad thing about this is, at least off my skin, I wasn't getting the greatest performance It seemed to be kind of in that average range, nothing too special. And when you are looking at these kind of upper tier brands, you maybe expect a little bit more in the terms of performance category. It says it's for women and men. I find it to be mainly a masculine fragrance. I don't really know. I mean, I'm sure there are some women that like to wear it, but in my mind, the way I see it, it's definitely more of a men's fragrance than a women's fragrance overall. So yeah, this one gets a lot of love for good reason. It's also, if you want to, take it maybe one step above the signature Oud Noir Versace, you want to get a little bit, more elevated. This is the next step up, I would say. You can go with this one, or you can go with what is kind of become its competitor because they do smell quite similar. And I believe this Oud Wood came out first. I see it came out in 2017. This one came out in 2013. Is Thamin's Carved Oud. This is my first one that I've tried from Thamin, and I've heard some conversation about some of their fragrances, including Royal Sapphire was one, and this Carved Oud is another one. But yeah, it does smell a little bit almost too similar to the Oud Wood. Little, like they almost copied it in a sense. I do get a little bit more of like a cleanliness from the Thamin, and it's maybe not as woody as the Oud Wood, but really I'm kind of like nitpicking here because when I sprayed them side by side, the most shocking thing about it was how similar that they really were. So I think you can get a better deal on Oud Wood these days. I did, for my preference, I liked Oud Wood a little bit more just for the simple fact that I felt like it was a little bit woodier and a little bit more of an oud fragrance, whereas this kind of blends some of this like cypriol and this muskiness too that makes it a little bit cleaner. But you really can't go wrong with either one. You're going to be pretty much set with either one. And if you want a little bit like of a cleaner type of maybe even more office safe fragrance, you can go with this Thamin. Either way, you're going to be smelling great. They're both really fantastic scents, and you can't really go wrong with either one. Both were enjoyable, but neither of these were the one that I ultimately ended up getting a bottle of. I did end up buying a bottle, and this was not the one, unfortunately. But maybe sometime in the future, if I find it's for a good deal or something, I may come back to it. So. All right, let me get caught up in the chat, and then we'll keep going with some of the other ones. I got some interesting ones coming up here. These are kind of maybe the more well-known ones that people speak about a lot or whatever. Let's see, where was I? Boss of Scent Private Accord. Yeah, sadly, I missed the boat on that one. That's another one that I would love them to bring back. Yeah, that's one that they definitely need to bring back. Kyler can be your vocalist when you play your sets. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm in need of a good vocalist. So Kyler, get those pipes warmed up, man. I'm gonna put you to work here. Wasn't that song done by the lead singer of Crazy Town? That DJ song. Not sure. Might need you to be a little more specific, but not really sure. I dig the scent line. The Maninka fruit is quite nice. Yeah, it's quite nice. I'm a fan of fruity fragrances, even like the more unisex to the feminine leaning side. Like Mancera Sicily, I think is awesome. A little bit feminine for some, but I really enjoy it. There's also, if you're looking for like a cheapy type of really great fruity fragrance, very slept on, True Religion Drifter. Also another fragrance that is fruity, but also masculine at the same time. Kind of hard to pull that off. Very, very underrated fragrance, True Religion Drifter. You see it at the rack store and you want to pick up a cheapie, you don't mind gambling, and you like fruity, it's great. All right. Let's see. My signature scent for this year will be Mancera Intensa Drap Rosé. That's a great signature scent. Can't go wrong with that. So the soapy cleanliness actually does fit the Pour Homme line. Yeah, it definitely does. You don't get that lemon kind of zing that you would get from the original Pour Homme, but it is still a pretty clean fragrance for the nighttime, if that makes sense, with incense. Versace needs to revive that line. Give us Versace Pour Homme Eau de Parfum. That would be cool. Or Parfum more intense. I would love to see a Dylan Blue Parfum or like a Dylan Blue Elixir. I'd be loving that because technically, I guess Dylan Blue is a flanker of the original Pour Homme as well. Yeah, impossible to find. I heard that that's kind of the best one, but some of these you just miss out on if you join later than others, but it's okay. Tom Ford Tobacco Oud is also a banger. Yeah, I've heard. I was rewatching some very, very old Jeremy videos, not some of his newer stuff, but some of his back in the day stuff when he was a real G. And he said that the best Tom Ford fragrance is Tobacco Oud. So it's funny that you bring that one up. I just kind of heard about that one again. I'd like to try that one. He said it's the best Tom Ford, and this is like back when he was more legit. I love a good incense, frankincense frag. Any recommendations? One that I tried actually in this haul, but it's not really an oud fragrance per se, was Jubilation 25. I got a lot of incense there, and it was really fantastic. So you may want to look into that one. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Yeah, let him know, Joel. Let him know. I heard Magnetic is good too. Yeah, I've heard that one is good too. There's a lot of good ones in the line. I only have the original, so I'm still a little bit behind in that. But you can't try everything, and I'll go broke if I try to try everything. So all in good time. Oudwood DNA is a masterpiece, just clean medicinal oud, sandalwood, and some cardamom, pink pepper spiciness. Yeah, I didn't get as much of a medicinal kind of smell from it, but I could see what you're meaning. Really, just like a clean and I guess professional woody scent without being too barnyard or animalic, which is not the case for this next fragrance. So this next fragrance is definitely an experience. It's something definitely if you're looking for the most animalistic barnyard, you just went out to your horse stable and you're cleaning up your horse stables at your ranch type of fragrance here from Le Labo Oud 27. And I added this one because I know Le Labo, they make great scents and their quality, and yeah, they just really do a good job. And especially if you're looking for like one specific note, and that's kind of their forte. But I tell you guys, this is the most like animalic, smells like a horse stable type of oud ever. Unwearable for me, but kind of interesting just to experience. If you ever have seen reactions of people smelling real oud, it's very expensive. I've never smelled like just real oud, but I've seen reactions of people, and it's pretty nasty from what I can see. It's not a pleasant smell until it's worked in with other stuff. And they only use a very small amount in a lot of these oud fragrances. And I think of all the ones that I ordered, there was the most real oud in this particular fragrance. And it was funky. It was real funky. So, maybe you're into that. Maybe you've gone and worn the oud woods and you're not looking for these clean, safe plays. You want to smell like you've been working at the ranch all day and you've been, shoveling poop and whatnot. If that sounds like something that appeals to you, you want to get your Farmer John hat on and go down that rabbit hole of oud, you can check out Oud 27. It's going to have you covered. A little unwearable for me, but it's definitely, skanky love, as this person says. Very skanky. Yeah. You guys tried Oud 27? It's very earthy and not for everybody. Won't be picking up a bottle of that. Let's just leave it at that. Let's see. Vince already knows the sensei is going to get us in the right direction. Of course. That's why he is the sensei. Right? Recently smelled Oud Maracuja. It's fantastic. Nice. There's a lot of kind of, I guess, hype coming around for that fragrance. So I think I may get a sample of that. I smelled the clone, which apparently isn't even like close to it. And I thought it was actually pretty good. So definitely going to probably get a sample of that. I know Maison Crivelli has been catching up some steam here in the Fragcom world. So I want to try it eventually. Let's see. Creed Oud Wood. I think you're thinking of Tom Ford Oud Wood, but there was a Creed fragrance in this haul as well. It was Royal Oud, which, if you guys know, it's not really much of an oud fragrance, but I'm just including it here because it's got oud in the name, I guess. But yeah, I've been rocking with this clone of It's called Oud Royal from Ministry of Oud, which I think is also Paris Corner. And after trying the real thing, the clone is on the chopping block. Let's say I got a box over there of fragrances that I'm either going to sell or just get rid of. Not really sure what to do with. They're on the chopping block, and sadly, that clone has joined the chopping block because after I tried this real thing, I did a side by side with the clone. I was just like, man, this is a different world over here. Sadly, this thing is very expensive. Not sure if I'll ever buy this, but if you got money bags like that, you can maybe get your nose on this. You might really like it. Really, it's mostly about the cedar wood that I get. But it's got some really nice spices too. A very dressed up kind of formal occasion type of fragrance, really like a wedding type fragrance. Something that you may want to save for a more special moment because you get some nice scent memories tied to it. But very upscale, some of Creed's best work here. And I understand when people call this a masterpiece of perfumery. I get it. I didn't know that the perfumer was Julian Ruscanet. He's got some good stuff. I'm pretty sure it's a guy, right? I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure that this is the guy who also created the 54 juice box fragrance with Perfume Guy. So, and this Julian Ruscanet has got other really good scents. Definitely a perfumer worth looking into. But yeah, you want to smell like a man's man. You want to go suit and tied up, formal occasion, tuxedo, maybe even. This is another boss CEO type scent all the way. Very expensive, sadly, but it is a banger. It certainly is. Okay, let's see. I got way, way behind in the chat. You guys are blowing it up, which I like to see. Let's go. Let me see. Great blue fragrance with incense. Serge Lutens. Okay, nice. Dark incense with incense and ash. Interesting. Love Serge Lutens. They always got some good stuff, man. And Tiziana Terenzi. Okay. Both great fragrances. 10-4. That blue one from Serge Lutens look interesting. I may look to that. Ombre Nomad is a great oud fragrance. That is a powerhouse. I get a lot of leather as well coming from the saffron in that. I know not everybody gets as much leather, but that one, I get a nice leathery component to it as well. Very beastly. I remember smelling that and being like, okay, this is not for beginners, but this is phenomenal. Phenomenal fragrance. Definitely leathery and oud. I sound like a dying dog. Oh, that's exactly what I was looking for. Perfect. It's on my new track, Who Shot the Dog. You can make the vocal effects for that. Gion 280, don't know. Got a clone coming. Alexandria is pretty close, as they typically are. They do a pretty good job, I gotta admit. Fragrance World made a clone on buy. They straight ripped off the bottle. Interesting. Let us know when it comes in what you think about it. I used to have oud dominant fragrance before, but sold them. Most I had, the oud is only supporting a background note. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Oud is a very expensive note, and a lot of times it's only used in very small amounts. So, and then the thing is also when they do use more of it, it can kind of be a little stanky and unwearable. I've been banned by all karaoke bars in all 50 states. Kyler's got jokes, man. I love it. I look at Alexander's clone of Blue Talisman, but can't find any reviews online. I'm sure they did a good job. I do have the Dua version if you're into Dua at all. They did a great job. I actually have tried the real Blue Talisman. I've done a side-by-side, and I'm very happy with the Dua. I think they got very close, and it's a similar enough experience to where I'm happy with it. So you may want to look into the Dua. I can definitely put my support behind it for whatever that's worth. Let's see. I am a music producer. That's actually what I do. That's like my main quest in life, DJ producing. The fragrance thing is kind of like a side hustle, side quest. But I have found like these awesome people, so I really enjoy doing it, and I have a real genuine passion for fragrance as well. I just haven't gone full go into frag content, but I like to do these live streams and do at least 1 or 2 videos a week, and that's pretty much where I'm at with it right now. But yeah, I do spend most of my time making music. Definitely, I'll be doing that after the stream, but it's fun. Let's see. Blaine, it's like imagination. No one can get it right. Yeah, that one is kind of a tougher one. The Alexandria, though, I found was really solid, actually. They do a good job on those LVs. You got the talisman from Alexandria is really good. Okay, well, there you go. Sven can vouch for it. You can become my back vocal at karaoke. All right, guys. Karaoke at Joel's house. Bring your favorite fragrance and get your vocal warm ups going because it's going down. Ombre Nomad and Oud Maricosia, definitely a couple top tier oud fragrances to me. Yeah, you got the 1-2 punch. You and your wife got those two on. You're gonna be blowing up the restaurant, having everybody asking what you're wearing. Tried Wulong Cha, and it smells like fresh cut grass. Okay, interesting. You get a lot of the grassiness. It's interesting. I don't really get the grassiness as much. I really get the citrus dominance in there, and I really enjoy it. But not everyone's got their own taste or whatever. I find what is that Mancera Oud Lemon Mint? I think, or Wave Musk. Actually, yeah, I think Wave Musk. That one was a little bit too grassy for me, like actual grass. I don't get too much grassiness from Wulong Cha, but everyone's different. Whatever. I'm not right. I'm not wrong. Let's see, Blaine. What's up, man? I don't know if I said hi to you already, but aloha, Blaine from Hawaii. Not from Australia. All right. It was too realistic tea, but others seem to love it. Yeah, you got to be into the tea fragrances. I mean, it's called Wulong Cha or whatever, but you definitely got to be into the tea fragrances, which I am. So it works out for me. It's more like a springtime fragrance. I'm probably gonna wear it tomorrow. You guys are getting me excited about it now. All the Frederick Mall oud fragrances top tier to me. Yeah, I bet they are. I have not tried any Frederick Mall. I want to try Promise and Musk Ravageur and Portrait of a Lady. Those are kind of the ones that I'm looking forward to trying from them most. Let's see. You guys are very active, and I appreciate that. I'm going to try to keep up with you. I'm going to try Jubilation 25. Yeah, definitely a fantastic fragrance. I got a lot of incense out of that. I think you're going to be very happy with it. Are you in danger of someone asking you if you rolled around an animal style if you wear Oud 27 out in public? Yeah, you definitely are. You definitely are. I mean, they may not even say or ask you, but that's what they're going to be thinking. They're going to be like, man, this guy must work in like, I don't know, some kind of like cattle business or something. Royal Oud. Okay, cool. Let's see. All right, let me jump into another fragrance here real quick. We got Kara in the building. What's up? Oh, you got half your smell back this morning. Well, God willing, you get the other half back tomorrow. I'm glad that you're feeling a little bit better, and you're smelling good with this Infinity Montal. Definitely, you got that on my radar. Great cherry fragrance from what I understand from Kara. So thanks for being here, Kara. Appreciate you stopping in. And I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better. I know, right? That must be torturous. Let's see. Okay, 10-4. Nice, good clonage on the Promise. Picked up Creed Royal for 300 at the door. To me, it's one of my few that's worth every penny and more than what I paid. Yeah, that's Creed Royal Oud is one of the fragrances. I have a hard time justifying any fragrance that's 250 or more like being worth it, but in this case, I think this one is actually worth it. Let's see. How'd you feel about that Montal Oud edition? I love it. That was my favorite one. We're gonna get to that. Let me jump into this other one, but that was actually my favorite one. I'm gonna just spoil it for you all here, but yeah. Anyway, let's go to the next one. So this next one was really good. This is from Byredo. If you guys have experience with Byredo, they make some good fragrances. We were just talking about them a little bit earlier. This one was called Oud Immortal or Immortal. Or Immortel with an E, I guess. Very, very nice. Caught me. It was like an immediate reaction, immediate kind of movement. That's kind of always what I'm looking for out of a fragrance. If it really moves me when I smell it first. Sometimes, it takes a fragrance time to grow on you and whatever. But this one, I had that immediate reaction. And as I kind of did a little bit more research, people were saying that it had a Creed Aventus vibe. And it definitely does have a Creed Aventus vibe. It's kind of an Oudi take on Aventus, but it has its own little twist as well. Not one-to-one, and you wouldn't even think Aventus by looking at these notes. I don't exactly remember the Aventus notes, but you're not seeing any birchwood, no pineapple or anything like that. and no ambroxan, or ambergris, I think is what they use. But it definitely has a very distinct Aventus tie-in. I think I actually prefer this to Aventus. This is another one that maybe in the future I may look into getting a full bottle of. The opening was where the oud was most prominent to me, and then as it dried down, it did get a little bit more and more similar to Aventus, which kind of, uh, it's kind of been overdone at this point a little bit. The Aventus profile, it's been done to death at this point. So, but this was a version of that profile that I haven't tried before, more oud forward Aventus. So if that sounds like something that may interest you, or if you're a big fan of the Aventus profile, I know many people are, and you want maybe that with a little bit of an oudy twist and from another high quality brand, you can check out Oud Immortal. I think you'll be very, very happy with it. I could definitely recommend this to others out there. Very wearable, again, clean, not super earthy, not super stanky or anything. Yeah, but definitely an Aventus tie-in, and I think if you get your nose on it, you'll understand what I mean. If you guys, anybody have tried this, let me know if you also get that Aventus tie-in with Oud Immortal from Byredo. Let's see. I'm in Almagribi Latani. Yes, I've heard that one's good. We're at formal occasions or from Italian clients for work. It's definitely a boss type scent. Thinking to buy a Suspiro Tenor, apparently more spicy Amouage Jubilation 25. Probably a better performer than the new batch of Amouage Jubilation 25. Well, Suspiro is top tier, man. I'm a huge fan of them. I haven't smelled one from them that I didn't like actually so far. So I think you'll be in good hands with Suspiro, definitely. Ferragamo is a nice designer oud as well. Okay. I'll have to. No, I'm thinking about the John Varvatos oud. Okay, I wasn't familiar with that. I'll have to look into that. Good looking out. Ferragamo oud. Okay, didn't know that existed. I'll have to take a look into that. Thanks for letting me know. What are my go-to gym fragrances? Very sporadic. Basically, whatever I'm wearing in the morning. I usually try to keep it pretty fresh. But yeah, I guess I was wearing like some go-tos for a while. I was wearing Bulgari Pour Homme, the EDP, the new one. I was wearing that as a gym go-to. I was wearing Ralph Lauren Polo Sport Fresh for a while, pretty consistently. These days, I'm just wearing whatever I'm wearing in the morning. Usually, I'll wear like a fresh or a cheapie in the morning, and then I'll wear at night something a little bit more leathery or woody or sweeter gourmand type thing at night. But yeah, I try not to go too sweet at the gym, but if you go to my weekly rotation, you'll see what I'm wearing. I've been going over it and on Instagram too. But yeah, mainly just wearing my cheapies and my kind of fresher stuff, like some of the Coach fragrances, Lacoste fragrances, the Abercrombie and Fitch fragrances I'm wearing. What else? Occasionally like a Percival or a Alexandria Ferocity or one of the LV Alexandria type clone things. Yeah, stuff like that is usually what I'm going for. Have you tried Argos Sharon's Veil Rose Oud? No, I have not. I've not tried actually any Argos, and I'm actually not the biggest fan of Rose Oud fragrances. Rose is not my favorite thing in the world. I like when the rose is worked in, but when it sticks out and I can pick it up too prominently, it's not my favorite thing in the world. I do like it as more of a supporting note underneath, but when it's too prominent, it kind of turns me off for whatever reason. Maybe that'll change. Have you tried Summer Oud by Malmagriba? I have not. I know they have a couple good ones. Ignite Oud. I love Blue Oud. I own that one, and that one is one of my favorite cheap fragrances like ever. Plum is bomb. Yeah, Blue Oud, man. Blue Oud is so good. It's like Dylan Blue meets maybe like Ombre Nomad or some very leathery type thing. Ombre leather, perhaps. Byredo makes some bangers, but they're expensive. Yeah, they definitely are. It's got to definitely try to find those on a discount because retail, they're very pricey. Immortal Note is special, but I'm starting to like it more and more. Immortelle. Okay. Wrote it down. Yep. Joel's always putting us onto some good stuff. I'm tired of Aventus fragrances. Yeah, I think most people are, or at least this little segment of the community. We're a little burnt out on it. I know Vince has been burnt out on Aventus at this point. I have vibrato. I think it's awesome. I want to smell Basso. I think that's the one. It's either Basso or Pasticcio. That's the similar to Terra de Hermes. Can't quite remember which one, but I'm sure those are both good. But vibrato is fantastic. Sadly, a little bit expensive, but actually, I think it's worth the price. If you like Tigar, if you like L'Immensité, stuff like that, you'll love vibrato. It's one of my favorite fragrances for fresh summertime. It's my favorite summertime ginger fragrance for sure. Spring summer ginger fragrance, that's definitely my favorite. The oud twist sounds interesting. Yeah, it makes it changes it up, and I really enjoy it. I think it's a nice twist on the DNA, something that actually hasn't been done before. Sounds completely different from the soapy unisex floral style already usually does. Yeah, it is different. Definitely more on the masculine side of things, not as unisex as they typically do, and it's devoid of those florals. A lot of the Byredos do kind of tend to smell pretty similar. They do have that common DNA, like some brands that have a very common DNA, and Byredo is one of them, that you can pick up like underneath a lot of their scents, but it does go a little bit different of a direction. I appreciated that. If I see it for a good price in the future, it may be worth adding. You used to be an Aventus fiend. That's funny. Yeah, let's talk about Oud Edition. It is fantastic. It caught me completely by surprise. And this was the one that I ended up getting a bottle of. I had a, what did I have? I had a discount on Fragbuy. You know, the addiction comes with some perks. Sometimes you get little discounts, and that's the good thing about Fragrance Buy is they give you rewards for being an addict. At least someone's, you know, at least I'm getting rewarded for my addiction, right? So, Oud Edition from Montal. Yeah, nobody talks about this one. Nobody, and it's just so good. The thing about this one is you get that oud. It's prominent there, and it's not stanky, but it's like woody, and it's definitely, it's there. Like there's no denying that you're smelling oud here. This rose, again, like I mentioned before, is kind of underneath it, which is great. It doesn't stick out to my nose, at least, and yeah, it's more of a supporting note, which I really enjoy about it. A little bit leathery, but not really as leathery as like an ombre nomad to my nose, at least. Really, you're getting a little bit of this kind of gourmand aspect to it. And I think it's coming from mainly the sandalwood and musk, obviously, but it's giving this creaminess. It's giving this almost kind of vanilla-like sweetness to it. It's definitely the sweetest of the bunch, and I like sweet fragrances, so not shocked that this was my favorite. But it takes a oud fragrance. You get that combination of the woods and the oudiness, oudy woodness, mixing with this gourmand, sweet kind of edge. Maybe like if you took, you know, Initio Narcotic Delight, something like that, and you put a healthy dose of oud on it. And as you know, with these Montals, performance and projection is no slouch. So for the price, yeah, I think you can get this without discount. I think it's like $65. When you consider that, the performance, the overall smell, and the actual, you know, amount of oud, which is a healthy dose, the value is fantastic. This was my favorite one. I'm very happy that I ordered a bottle of it, and it was actually my brother's favorite one too. We ended up having both favorite one. I was doing a blind tournament with him. I didn't tell him the brands, didn't tell him anything. Just wanted it to be all about the scent profile. Which one would he pick? Just based purely on scent. And he also picked Oud Edition of all the ones that I had him try. So I guess we are brothers at the end of the day. So yeah, definitely. Let's see if people have any good commentary on this. Let me know if you guys have tried this Oud Edition. You know, Montal, they have some other oud fragrances, and I started looking at some of the other ones because this one really impressed me. They apparently have, you know, a bunch of these oud fragrances. So I ended up getting a sample of Oud Mazing, which is a fruity, I guess, combination of oud. I told you guys earlier I like fruity, so I like to see what that one's all about. And I saw a couple others. They have this Oud Dream, and you know, maybe some others, but yeah, this one really took me aback. It's kind of gonna be my go-to oud. I don't really have an oud fragrance that's kind of fit in that slot in the collection or whatever. So I was also kind of looking for the oud fragrance that would be my go-to oud, and this is going to be the one for me. So I'm happy to hear that you enjoy it as well, Chris. It's fantastic. Yeah, definitely been getting into Montal more and more. I have a decent amount of Mancera and Montal at this point, but yeah, it's definitely upped my appreciation for his work. I think you did a great job on that one. Let's see. All right, Esteban, thanks for stopping in. I will see you Saturday. We're doing a little fragrance meetup, and I'm definitely looking forward to kicking it with you then. Rose is an acquired taste. Took me a few fragrances to really start liking it. Just it comes a little to my nose when I smell the prominent rose. I just get this feminine association with it. Really, there's only a few fragrances that I enjoy with rose in it. It's just a personal preference type thing. Enjoying your channel the last few months. Thanks for supporting. I appreciate that. 20 fragrances and counting for me. Watching you and others always entices me to add to my collection. Well, hopefully it's a responsible addition. I never want to. I know it's kind of hard to watch fragrance content and not feel like you got to buy shit. But really, once you get further in, if you talk to anybody that's kind of gone down this path of buying a bunch of bottles already, there will always be some purchases that you may regret or whatever. And just know it's not really about like buying more and just having more. That was kind of like one thing that kind of kept me from making this content for a while, was the materialistic aspect of it. I just recommend sampling as much as you possibly can and really only buying the stuff that is an absolute love for you. So, you know, everyone has the different amount of fragrances that they're comfortable with having. Realistically, you could just get away with 2 or 3 and be totally fine. And there's people like Patrick who I really admire because he's got like 5 that he goes through per season. And I really like the way he does that. I've got a ridiculous amount, and I don't suggest that anybody go down that rabbit hole, but if you can get enjoyment out of it, it's also okay. So just something to keep in mind. Just be responsible with it. And I don't want you to get to a point where because you watched my channel or whatever, that you've got a bunch of shit and then like 6 months after you're like, damn, you're kind of like regretting it or whatever. I don't want that to happen to you. And it's possible because shopping addiction and enjoyment of fragrances, they can go hand in hand, as a lot of the people in this chat can attest to. So just something to be aware of. But I'm glad that you're enjoying the content, man. I appreciate your support. It's an affordable niche fragrance, and I love one of them. I might buy lots more. If they're pricey niche, there's buy 1 or 2 collection. I like a variety of brands. Yeah, definitely. That's kind of the thinking behind trying some more of the Montals. I was impressed with the Oud edition, so now I'm kind of interested in seeing what about the other ones. We should start our own channel. Go for it, Jason. Go for it, man. If it's fun for you, just have fun. Do it for the love of the game. That's why I do it. I just do it because it's fun, not because I'm trying to get anything out of it. I like kicking it with you guys, and hopefully you enjoy the little space I'm trying to foster here on Wednesdays as well. You know, I could be a little funnier, but this is what you get, man. This is what you get. Armaf niche oud, hidden gem, but not too oudy. Interesting. I like Montal oud leather. Okay, that may be one that I need to look into as well. I have a dark vanilla, and I actually get a lot of leather and oud mixing with that vanilla, which I really like. That one is very underrated. Dark vanilla. If you like Invictus Victory Elixir, if you're comfortable with that level of sweetness, let's actually look into this one a little bit. This one doesn't get mentioned quite enough, and it's excellent. It's very slept on. Possibly a little feminine, but if you like sweet fragrances, if you're okay with that, I think you're going to like this one. This one really shocked me. This was a blind buy. I saw it at Ross. It was like $55. And I was like, you know, I'll blind buy this. It's a Montal. So I like Montal, and it was a huge win. Good amount of oud in it actually as well. Leather, very prominent, and a little bit spicy, but this vanilla is beautiful. And if you guys know my taste or whatever, you know that vanilla is not always my jam. I'm kind of a little bit more picky with the vanillas, especially when vanilla is like the star of the show. like it is in this fragrance, but it really works if you like Victory Elixir, and that level of sweetness. Kind of replaces the patchouli with this oud and leather instead, but similar level of sweetness, and I guess similar times that you would wear it, and similar beast mode type of wearing experience from both of them, certainly. So let's see. Yeah, and is actually more of a man's vanilla fragrance, because it has that leathery kind of darker aspect to it. So I find it a little bit more suitable for my personal taste, and you guys would probably as well. As soon as I got a sample of Oud Edition, I pulled the trigger on a bottle. Yeah, I had a similar experience. It was a love at first smell for me. I really, really enjoyed it. Blind tournament, that's awesome. Yeah, I didn't want him to be influenced by the brand or whatever, so we did a true blind smell. I did not like Oud Amazing. I gave my 10 a while. I do like Black Precision by Mancera, though. Yeah, that's another one that I want to try. Definitely on the radar. That one and Black Candy are two from Mancera that I want to try. There's so many out there. But yeah, sorry to hear you didn't like it. I'll let you know if my sentiment is the same. Now that you've developed more of a base lexicon for the Oud note, I'd be interested to see if you revisited Philosophia, if your opinion changes at all. Yeah, I'd be down to revisit it again. I don't think it was the Oud that was bothering me. I think it was just the way the tobacco was mixing. It just wasn't my thing. I don't know. But yeah, I'd be down to try it again. Yeah, Banana Republic Oud Mosaic Clyde Deer was good. I did not enjoy that one at all. That actually kind of turned me off from Oud for a while, and the reason was because it was too tart. I didn't like the tartness of that one. I definitely prefer the Oud when it's more focused on, like, I guess, the woody aspect of it. But that one came across very, very like tart to me, and didn't find it that enjoyable, and a little bit stanky too. A little bit of that like Oud stank in there as well. Maybe I was a little bit too green in the game, but that was just my thoughts on it. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I do more than 5 per season, but I tried to stick around 5 main ones as full bottles. Yeah. I've been sampling so much lately, it saved me thousands. Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing. It's like, no matter if I say something's great or another bigger content creator says something great or how much they love it or whatever, it's just entertainment. It's just like a introduction to the fragrance. This is such a subjective space, and the only way to really know is to try it yourself. And sometimes you'll find some creators that you align with your taste a lot, so you can maybe feel a little bit more comfortable if you do decide to go the blind buy route. But yeah, definitely the sampling is crucial. It really is. I never regretted spending money on a sample of a bottle that I ended up getting a full bottle of. I never was like, man, I wish I would have just blind bought this. Like, I never have had that thought. So it's always worth the samples. Yeah. Let's see. Dedrick would say otherwise. As far as the Oud Mosaic, yeah, I'm with him on that one. I didn't really care for it. I know you guys giving it some love, and it's all good. Sampling is the key. It sure is. It takes the fun out of the blind buying. There is true. There is like a sort of rush that comes with gambling, right? So yeah, it's not as but you are essentially kind of blind buying these samples, so you can just gamble with less money at stake. Or maybe you're just like money bags, and you're like Vince over here, and the money is just flowing out. It's growing on your trees in the backyard, even in the winter. So it's no biggie. Dark Vanilla going on my sample wish list. Definitely check it out, Patrick. I think you're gonna really like it. We tried Starry Night by Montal. It's another rose that I enjoy. I have not. Maybe I should give it a go, but that rose makes me a little apprehensive. But yeah, even like Halfeti Black Rose, too much rose for me. Didn't really love it. JCB's out here buying everything from $1,000 roses, cheap clothes. He doesn't discriminate. Hey, that's the way to do it. No sense in being a niche snob out here. It smells a smell. If you like it, that's all that matters. So that's the most important thing. All right, let's jump into another one that I ended up trying. I actually have some of the samples here. Oh yeah, I don't think I've showed you guys this yet, but I saw this on Facebook, and this might be something that you guys would want to do too. So you can get this thing. It's like meant for pens. It's a pen holder, but it works really, really well for holding samples. Look at that. you can slide all your little decants in here and it holds them perfectly. So this thing's on Amazon. If any of you guys want to organize your samples a little bit better, I like this thing. I feel like I got a little portfolio over here of stuff. It makes me feel really really sophisticated here. So let's see. Any that we didn't talk about that I'm missing? We talked about that. And yeah, I think we pretty much covered all of them. I also tried Homage Boundless, which is not an oud fragrance, I don't think. Let's pull that one up. But that one was really good. It was kind of a more of an ambery type of thing going on. But really great. I think Ross told me to check out Boundless, and I'm happy I took his word for it because I thought it was fantastic. It was my first Homage that I've ever tried, and I dug it a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of notes here. Didn't really realize. I guess you definitely get some of this like resinous thing going on and with the benzoin. But this bourbon vanilla absolute is really, really beautiful in it. And let's see, it was like an ambery type smell, I remember, and tobacco definitely. So definitely more niche, definitely oriental or whatever. I think all of their fragrances are. But yeah, this was a banger for sure. Woody, spicy. Definitely a stunner. Definitely, again, more for somebody a little bit further along in their journey. But for the people in this chat, I think you might want to try this one if you're familiar with Homage and the way that they go about their business. So let's see. That's where I was. Starting February, I'll be wearing for a little while my fragrances that I've been ignoring. It's great to revisit them. That'd be cool. Let us know what are some that you kind of forgot that you're gonna bring back and that may reignite your initial love for. You're always gonna want one more bottle. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's so there's always more and there's always more. So it's greed is natural human thing. So you gotta make a plan. It's better to have like a plan, or else you're just gonna end up buying everything. And some people have impulse control problems. I'm talking about myself. So they hit me with an email like because something comes with a good price. It's always money that you can't be investing in your future or whatever. So this year, hopefully, buying less, sampling more, and putting that money in the stock market or something that'll grow over time. But also depends on how much money you make and your expenses. Last month, purchased samples of Zaharoff, Seraphim, Blue, and Red. Love them. Yeah, those are great. Yesterday, ordered samples of Signature Noir and Porom. Any opinions on the Signature line? I've only tried. I've tried Signature Noir. I think it's fantastic. I dig it. Good lavender, good clean, kind of like modern man, I guess fougere type smell. Enjoy it. Certainly nice. I love what is the honey one? Blanking on the name. Aurum. I love Aurum. Definitely got to be into honey and got to be into sweet fragrances. Got to be into gourmands, which I am. Love Aurum. If you want like the best honey fragrance ever, it's the best honey fragrance I ever tried. Check out Aurum. What else? I know we got a lot of Zed heads here in the chat, so they could probably help you out more. I don't have as much experience as some of the other people, but I've tried a good amount of them. The bottles that I own right now are Aurum, both Seraphims, and Precious Treasure. So those are the ones that I own, and I love them all. If it smells great to me is all that matters, bottom line. Yeah, exactly. There's like a bell curve. Let me see if I can find it. I sent it to Patrick the other day. Let me see if I can find this meme. What would I even type? Meme of niche snob fragrance. Let's see if I can pull it up. This meme was a very accurate depiction of the kind of journey. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. Oh yeah, here we go. Found it. Show you. I think this summarizes the journey. Close that one. Sorry, 1 sec. I have it pulled up here. You guys can see that? Yeah. Hopefully you guys can see what that says, but over here, this is the amount of bottles. So it's like 145 bottles and 0. He's like, oh wow, these designers smell amazing. And then when you get like 50 bottles in, it's the top of the bell curve. And you become like a niche snob, and you're like, oh no, niche is the best art form. Designers are for normies. This is an art form meant to be experienced, and you get all snobby. And then you get like 100 plus bottles, and you're like, oh wow, these little cheap designers all smell really good. So that's like the classic evolution, I feel like, for a lot of people. It definitely was for me. Definitely felt myself getting a little bit snobby once I got to like that 100 bottle mark. I was like, oh, what have I wasted my money on these cheapies and designers for? Like I've been buying niche the whole time. And now I'm like, oh, I actually end up wearing these cheapies and designers more than I wear these niche, and they smell just like they smell great. No sense in lying. So maybe you guys can relate to that. I found that graphic pretty revealing. That's the full picture. I'm guessing how the tobacco blends with the Cypriol is what puts you off Philosophia. Yeah, it was a little bit like dark, earthy, and just kind of funky for me. It just wasn't for me. I mean, it's all good. It's not the end of the world. I loved all their fragrances except for that one. I think tobacco can be done many different ways, and just the way that it was done in that one, I didn't care for. But I know a lot of people love it, so just because I don't care for something doesn't mean it's not a great fragrance. I'm definitely not the authority on this. All right. We are over an hour. Yeah, I don't know if you guys, we kind of went through the topic already. If you guys have any other oud fragrances that you want to drop in, or anything else interesting, I do have a couple actually fragrances that I figured I'd mention here at the very end, some newer pickups or whatever for the people that stick all the way to the end. This is a rack store cheapie. This is Billie Eilish #2. This is really good. I heard Joy Amin talking about this one, and he kind of put it on my radar. Someone's calling me. Hopefully that didn't mess up my sound or whatever for you guys. Anyway, this is really good. Some websites say that this is for women, but I find this actually very masculine. The most masculine fragrance that I ever saw that was marketed for women. It's very woody. It's got a little bit of a floral component here, but mainly it's the woods that are coming through here that give it this masculine edge. I love this bottle too. I think it's really beautiful. It's kind of like a bust. Never seen a bottle that looks like this. Very unique, and very much unique scent profile for being a cheapie. So that's kind of hard to do, especially, as you smell more and more stuff, you really appreciate the stuff that's kind of a little bit more unique. It stands out. So fantastic woody fragrance. May catch you by surprise. If you guys see a 30 ml at Ross, I think it's worth picking up. It's especially if you like woody fragrances. Not even unisex, I'd say, actually, like for men, I would say. And then a little bit on the more expensive side here, Mosque Milano Tango is a beautiful amber fragrance. If you enjoy spicy fragrances, if you enjoy spicy amber stuff, if you want to, dabble into that while we have the colder weather, or most of you have colder weather right now, this is a fantastic one to go with. This 35 ml goes for like the $70 range. So a little bit pricier, but not completely, out of reach for most people, I would say. Great atomizer here, and very great performance here. Insane longevity. I did actually get another one called La Atessa, which was a iris fragrance that I didn't really care for. So if anybody's been looking into that one or wants to get it, I'll hook you up with a great price, like a very, very good price. I am selling it right now, but not here to push product or sell, just a side note. But yeah, Tango is fantastic. You like ambery, spicy stuff, get your nose on this. If you like Grand Soir and you want something that's maybe not as vanilla kind of forward, but still resinous, but even more spicy than Grand Soir, check out Tango. I think you're going to be very, very happy with that. I'm absolutely in love with that one right now. Yeah. Those were the new ones I want to tell you guys about. So yeah, we'll just wrap up the chat. Appreciate you guys' time. Hopefully you enjoyed today, and hopefully I was entertaining or whatever, and gave you guys some good content to jam out to on your Wednesday. I scrolled way back in the chat. I don't know why I do that. Let's see. Where did I leave off here? It's classic. Did I skip some people? Okay, this was where I was. All right. All right. See you, Gian. Thanks for stopping by. I think you posted that way earlier. I don't know. All right. Such a great lavender scent. Yeah, where it's a lot to work. Yeah, it's a fantastic work fragrance, perfect work fragrance. And I'm a sucker for lavender, so probably why I like it a lot. And if you like lavender, it's definitely a good one to check out. You want that classic masculine type scent. Certainly Signature Noir will get it done for you. Portfolio for samples is genius. I just threw all mine in a Prada cloth bag. You're like Dedrick with the Prada bag and the what's in the bag. Yeah, I like this little booklet. It's kind of funny. We got about 200 decants mixed up in a bag. Yeah, I had that same problem. I just had a bunch of decants thrown in a bag, and I just was like, yo, if I wanted to grab a decant, I wouldn't even know where it is without going through all these. So I got rid of a bunch that I didn't care for. I mailed some out to, I think you were one of the people that I mailed some out to. Now I got it organized in here, so it's a good thing. You may want to look into this, Patrick. I think for a guy like you, you could get some good use out of it. Oh yeah, definitely. I accept my problem, put money aside every week. Yeah, I mean, at least you got a budget for it now, and you know it's at least you know it's a problem. You're not lying to yourself, so you're not in denial. So that's good. I know we're just giving you a hard time, Vince. Wishful thinking, right? Saturday Night Long Red Cloud by Inka Kus. Okay, never heard anybody mention that, but I appreciate you being here, Dakota, with your very hidden gem scent choice here today. Vince retired. Been retired for a little while. Tobacco is amazing. I'll have to get my nose on that one eventually. Let's see. I'm John Carl. I'm a fragrance addict. Starting the line. Fragaholics Anonymous meeting. Yeah. I remember that one stream. I was like everyone's counselor for Fragaholics Anonymous, but we have all broken our blind buy since then. I'm quite sure. We all have went on a subsequent blind buy and then broken it since then, probably 3 times over. What's up, Jay? King Eros in the building. Thanks for stopping by, dude. We're just wrapping up here. Appreciate you stopping in. It's good to see your name pop up. And yeah, happy to have you here at the fraternity. See, Vince is telling people about his former career. Billie Eilish too, very good hidden gem and masculine. Yes, yeah, very much a hidden gem, and unique, surprisingly unique for being like a cheapie. It's kind of shocking how good it is. It's really caught me by surprise. I've worn it a couple times and liked it more and more. So you guys see that one out and about, I think it's worth scooping up. Let's see. You guys talking car business? It's cool. Heard ATH fragrance will be available in the US this year. They're getting US distribution. Possibly. I don't know anything about that. To be honest, the ATH fragrances, they just don't really interest me. Like, I don't really get why people are into them or whatever. Maybe they just smell really good and that's it. But yeah, I don't know. I've seen some videos with the guy ATH and got kind of a weird vibe from him. I don't know. Maybe he may have like some sort of disability or whatever. I'm not trying to be insensitive or whatever. I just not sure about him, I guess. Tango is a sample first fragrance. Definitely a sample first fragrance. Yeah, but it is stunning. If you like spicy ambery, you're good. I think I've said that like 15 times already. Man, could come up with a couple more descriptors for that one on the next one, eh? You guys are also in the car game. That's cool. Let's see. Long Red Cloud is one of the oddest fragrances I've ever known. Not sure how to describe it. Let's check it out. Let's see. Long Red Cloud. Long Red Cloud. Let's see. Hopefully they have it on here. There it is. Interesting bottle. Is that like a feather or what is that? Candle? It's kind of hard to tell. Released in 2023, so it's pretty new. Wow, that is a tiny note breakdown. Oh my god, I don't think I've ever seen a fragrance with that many notes. Holy smokes. Is that necessary? My gosh. How do they have so many notes in this? The perfumer was just like, 30 notes is enough, but I think it could use actually some Moroccan jasmine, oregano, osmanthus, and pomerose. And it could probably use a little bit of 15 other things. Let's see. Does anybody have a review? No reviews even on it on this site. You got us stumped, man. Let's check out Fragrantica maybe. The long red cloud. This side is notorious for people hating on stuff. Woody oud. Okay, so it's maybe kind of, is it kind of like darker and maybe gothic with the prominent wood and tobacco, perhaps? Patchouli and whiskey. Okay, a little bit of booziness underneath. A lot less notes on here. It's kind of weird that there's so many on the other one and not on here. Looks like it's a pretty like dark and kind of boozy fragrance from the look of it. A little bit like maybe even gothic. Interesting though. Definitely seems unique. Way off, missing about 100 notes. Okay. Yeah, not a lot of conversation on it. You got a hidden gem there. Nice. All righty. I'm probably going to wrap up here. Fragaholics Anonymous is wild. Hopefully that's not going to be us in a year. It's us right now, man, except we're not anonymous. We're in the open. We're definitely not anonymous. We're making it known. At least I am making these YouTube videos. If I ever start a channel, I'll be named that for all of us. That's a good name, actually. You should go for Giancarlo. We definitely need some Giancarlo fragrance content in this space. Pretty sure everybody in this chat will be a member. Yeah, willingly or not, you're a member. If you're in this chat, I consider myself like the underground, like the fragrance community underground. So if you're in this chat, you're definitely a little bit more into this than most. Let's see. All right. It's a heavy wood, oud, and leather. $4.95 a bottle. Yeah. May have to give you the name Moneybags Dakota. Keep dropping cents like that on us. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this oud talk. Yeah, appreciate you guys stopping by. Hopefully you enjoyed. And yeah, that's it. Keep smelling great out there. Keep bringing that positivity. Keep putting people on to great fragrances. Let me know in my DMs on Instagram if you stumble upon something and you want to share it. Always love to hear about your guys' discoveries and what you're wearing and whatnot. If you have any questions, you can also hit me up about any of the stuff we talked about. If you want to know more or whatever, yeah, you guys can hit me up. But otherwise, have a great day, and I'll catch you next time with some more content, hopefully coming soon. Have a great day. I appreciate you guys here at the Fragrance Fraternity. Peace out.